Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. Tonight I'm going to be preparing chicken piccata, which is another highly requested dinner from my family members. It's made with a lot of very simple, basic household ingredients and is really pretty simple to make and can be done in a relatively short amount of time. So let's get started. So first things first, I have 4 chicken breasts here. I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut them in half, and then I'm going to pound them so that they're nice and thin like scallopini. And I have my cutlets here, which are dried off with a paper towel, so that way there's not excess juice from the chicken. And I'm going to put my hand on the chicken here, and I'm going to then slice through the center horizontally like that, okay? So this allows us to, then when we use the meat tenderizer to pound the chicken, we're going to get a nice thin chicken breast. Okay, so now that the chicken is cut, I'm going to now tenderize the chicken to make it into smaller pieces. Okay, so I'm starting with 2 pieces. I sandwiched 2 of the cutlets, pieces of chicken, between 2 pieces of saran wrap. And I have a meat tenderizer here. It's a mallet that's a very heavy mallet and has different sides. So when you want to tenderize maybe beef or something, or a meat, you can use these different sides depending on what you need. I'm just going to use the flat end for this, the smooth end, because these are thin to begin with once I cut them. So very simply, just pound it a few times. You can buy the scallopini just as is, and you can make them a little thicker if you want. It's not going to hurt it, but I like the quick fry of the scallopini. And so when you do that, here you go, and you have your thin chicken breast. So I'm going to do this for the remaining cutlets, and then we can go on to the next step. So chicken piccata and chicken franchise are very similar, but sometimes may be confused as to what's different about them. And again, they're very similar. The difference is that with chicken piccata, I'm just going to be using flour to dredging. I'll be dredging the chicken in flour, with seasoned flour with salt and pepper, and then it will be cooked in a white wine lemon sauce with capers. Chicken franchise uses an egg-based batter, so there might be there's flour, there might be a little breadcrumb, but egg is the star there, so it has this crispy fried coating that has a little more richness to it, and it is still in a lemon sauce or a lemon white wine sauce, very similarly, but that's really the difference. I'd say that has a little bit more of again, the richer taste. The piccata might be a little lighter, and it has more of a savory bite with the capers, has that salt element. All right, that should do it. See? I'm going to now get this plastic off, and we are ready to dredge the chicken in flour. Okay, so I just take some regular all-purpose flour, goes in a bowl. Again, just don't need too much, and I don't have a lot of chicken. I usually tend to make a lot more than I need for any meal, but I've been really trying to be better at that because different time of life now. I don't have as many people in the house, not cooking for as many people, so I don't need as much quantity. But so I've got some flour here, then I have some salt and some black pepper. Here I have my flour. There we go. So very simply, I'm going to take my chicken and I'm going to just dredge it in the flour. Again, if you remember the veal cutlet recipe, it was flour, then egg, then breadcrumb. This, it's just flour seasoned with salt and pepper. So it makes for another very simple prep and dish for a good, easy weeknight meal. My older son's birthday is coming up, and I think he mentioned already that this is what he might want for dinner. And again, you know what? Just because I make it a lot, it's still special because I'm making it for him for his birthday. So I love that. I love that there's something, a comfort food or something that they connect with memories and nostalgia, and that kind of warms my heart that they request foods that I have made often for them over the years. Okay, so I have my pan on the stove with my fry wall that I love. I'm going to put some olive oil and butter in this pan, and I'm going to heat it to a medium-high heat so we can first saute the cutlets and get them nice and just lightly browned on each side. Okay, so you hear the sizzle here in the pan. The butter and the olive oil is nice and hot. I can tell this is ready to go. I showed you that trick last time with the breadcrumb, throwing it in. but we know it's sizzling. So I'm gonna put the pieces in. Now, this is gonna go quick because while we have to cook chicken really through and through, the good news here is that we're going to give it a once browning on both sides quick. Then we take it out of the pan of here and put it back on the pan. Doesn't matter that the raw chicken's here already because we're going to be continuing to cook the chicken because it's going to go back in the pan with the white wine sauce. So this makes it easy. It's like sometimes I have to have separate pans for the raw and the cooked, but not in this situation. So it's now getting nice and browned up on one side, but I'm going to give it a minute or so and then I'm going to flip it. Okay, so it's been a minute or 2 minutes or so, 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm just turning these over. And again, there's just a little touch of golden brown, which you want. There's no egg or breadcrumb, which is going to give it that darker and crispier crust. This is just a light coating of flour, which we call dredging flour. Okay, so these are ready to come off. Right here, I'm taking them off and putting them back in the pan because, again, these are going to cook more in the next round of making of the dish. Okay, grated. Okay, so I'm putting these back in the next batch. This can serve 4 people easily, depending on, how much people eat in your family. Now, this is a meal that you could make ahead, especially if you're hosting a party or you're going to bring something, maybe put it in a sheet pan. What makes this so good is that basically the chicken's going to go back in and steep in there and on a low heat and kind of cook and absorb all the flavors. The chicken's thin, so it will absorb beautifully, and every bite's going to just have that white wine, lemon, capers, wonderful. So once you do this part, then it's going to be steeping in that liquid even more, and the next day it's going to taste just as good, even if not better. So whether you make this ahead, say on a Sunday for a weeknight meal, good idea, or if you're having people over or going to a party or something, or you want to make, this is a relatively inexpensive dish, all things considered, and so you can serve a lot of people pretty economically. Okay, these are ready to come off the stove here, and then I'm going to right now turn off the heat. See how nice? It's a nice little brown, just enough. And again, it's not fully cooked through 100%. That's probably 3/4 of the way, but it's going to go right back into hot liquid and cook. All right, so first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to, what's very important is I want to change out my oil, and then I'm going to pour this in. I have a metal bowl here, some paper towels, and I'm going to pour this in and let this cool off so we can discard of this properly. And I'm going to clean this off and wipe it with a paper towel. Okay, so I'm going to take a half a stick of butter and some olive oil. And I'm going to then get this on a low to medium heat. It's already hot. The burner's already hot, so this is going to be the base for my sauce. And then what I do is, as the butter is melting, I'm going to take a few ingredients here. Again, I mentioned the other day that I have certain foods that are always in my kitchen whenever possible. Coconut milk for my coconut rice, and then capers is one. I always have a lot of capers on hand because they impart such a nice umami salty flavor. I love them, we love them, and we use them in a lot of different things, piccata being one of them. Okay, so I'm going to put this in. Now what I like to do here is, I also have lemons. Lemons is another thing. Lemons and limes, when I go to the store, I always buy a handful of lemons and limes because I use them in a lot of my cooking. And I have white wine and some salt and pepper. All right, this is getting a little hot. So what I'm going to do now is to slow down the cooking. I'm going to take this whole jar of capers and pour it in here. It's a bit hot, so I'm going to pull this away a little. Now, a lot of people rinse their capers because I guess they want to take some of that salty bite away, but I like the brine in there. I really do. Okay, I'm just lifting this off the heat right now just because it's a little hot and I don't want it to get too hot. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add white wine. I'm going to add this whole bottle in because this is going to help provide the liquid base that the chicken is going to steep in. Okay, put the white wine in. I'm going to take 2 lemons. If you think through when you're shopping, if you do a weekly shopping or every couple of weeks, whatever you do, whatever your cadence is, it's just good to have things on hand that maybe you're not going to necessarily know you need, but will probably come in handy when you're cooking something or you see a recipe, because there are certain things that you can never go wrong using to add a little extra flavor to your meal. lemons being one of them. So a little story about lemons. Always remember my grandmother. We like a lot of lemon things in our family. Lemon meringue pie, lemon curd, this lemony kind of thing. Lemon bars. My niece is a huge fan of my lemon bars that I make. I make over the holidays. I actually sent it for her 21st birthday at college. But anyway, make a lot of lemon stuff. We like lemon. But my grandmother, I remember when I was on with my dad's mom, and I remember her she used to eat the rind of the lemon. And I used to go, Grandma, oh my nanny, I called her nanny. I would cringe because it was bitter, and she would always say, that's the healthiest part, that's where all the nutrients are. I always remember that about her. It's just a fond memory, but yeah, she would eat the rinds of the lemon. Seasoning this with some salt and pepper, and I'm going to just get this to a little bit of a rolling boil. It's going to take a minute, not much time at all, it's already a hot pan. And then as soon as it starts to boil, I'm going to put the chicken in there. Okay, the liquid here has a nice boil to it. I'm going to just put the chicken back into the pan. Again, now I have it on a low heat. So from medium low or on the lower side, because this is going to need to cook for a little bit, but we don't want all the liquid to evaporate. We want it to be absorbed. So what you see here is that the chicken is immersed in. So now I have it on a low. So again, if you have an electric stove, I don't know, the 2 to 3 mark, again, depending on how hot your stove gets, you may need a little higher, but you want it to be a low medium simmer. I am going to now put a lid on. Now, if you remember my salmon dinner the other day, we had made coconut rice. And again, coconut rice is so versatile, goes with so many things. And we made more than we needed, which is good, so I had an extra. And coconut rice is also my go-to rice with this dish, so it's good timing. So I was able to now use it for 2 meals, and this is a good way to, not have to do so much at every single meal. If you make a little extra something one night, you use it as a side for another night. So basically I took the coconut rice here, and I just put 1 or 2 pats of butter in it and just microwaved it till it was heated through, and then just put a sprinkle more salt and just mixed it up. And now we have our side dish for the chicken right here. Okay, so now for the vegetable, for broccoli. So just like with the green beans I just took broccoli florets, I rinsed them off, then I put them in this covered microwave cooker, filled it halfway with water, and then I'm gonna go and microwave these until they're cooked through, and then we'll dress them up. This is going to now simmer for probably until everything else is ready for dinner. It's going to be a quick setup for the rest though, and I'm going to show you why. But this probably, I'd say 10-15 minutes and it's done. Okay, so we're going to let this simmer, and now we're going to prep the other ingredients for the side dish. While the rice is heating up and the broccoli's ready to go in, you see this nice bubble here? See that? Looks so good. And it's steeping so nice. And now you see the flour from the chicken is kind of blended in now into the sauce, so it gives a little bit of body. So again, this is done. I've been about 10 minutes since I initially put that sauce together. And I have this on very low, warm on your stove. And again, you want to make this a day or two before, the weekend before, and then dinner. It's a great idea. Okay, the rice is out of the microwave. Again, I just put a few pats of butter in there. My broccoli is out of the microwave, steamed up. I'm just going to drain this in the sink, and I have the holes on the top of this. So 1 second. And if you remember from my green bean recipe the other night with the salmon dinner, I keep it right in this bowl, because this pot, or this cooker I should say. I'm going to put a little olive oil, okay, some lime juice. Again, I normally would use lemon, but lime will be just as good. Just so nice with the chicken. Broccoli just goes so well with the citrus. And then some salt and pepper, and I simply take this and I put the lid on it, and I kind of give it a little shake and let it infuse in there until we're ready to eat. Okay, so I'm going to plate this up in a minute. Phil's not home right yet. He's Ubering, actually. He does Uber. He loves it. And but I'll have him taste later. But we'll plate it up now and see what it looks like. So I'm gonna plate up this delicious meal. Okay. So first we're gonna start with some of the rice. So again, that's the leftover coconut rice that I heated up with put a little bit of butter just so that it loosens it up, a little more salt. and heated it up for a few minutes, and there you have it. Take some of the broccoli, which again has just some olive oil, salt, pepper, and some lime juice of a lime. And then take my chicken dish, okay? I'm gonna put a piece of chicken here and put some sauce on the top. See the capers? So good. Put it right over the rice. You can put it over the broccoli, and there you have your meal ready to eat. So let's take a taste. Okay, so cutting it up here now to try it. Doesn't even need a knife. You could just cut it with your fork. But look, it's just silky, and you see that, you know, the breading, it's very soft and silky because it's just flour. Again, ingredients, all simple, fresh ingredients, building it one by one, and add those flavors. Always have a little salt and pepper that highlights and it brings out the flavors. You can't go wrong with this. And that tang from the lemon and the wine, just love it. See how I just broke that without a knife? Don't even need a knife. And then the rice. Absolutely delicious. And then here you have the broccoli with a little bit of lime. So good. Again, steamed broccoli will do the trick. You do not need to necessarily do anything with it, just pour more of the sauce on it. So I'm waiting for Phil to come home. Then he'll be able to do a little taste test for us, and you'll get to see how much he enjoys it. So I really appreciate you watching. Until the next time.
Long day at work. I'm starving.
Hey, Phil.
Hey.
I know, Phil just got home. Long day.
Oh, with the capers? Oh, it's one of my favorites. This is like my favorite.
See, you came home from work, and this is all here for you.
There we go. I'm spoiled.
Good.
It's the chicken.
Yeah. I'd say this is up there on your
I could eat
list.
the whole pot.
Yeah, I know. And there you have it.
Phil
approved.
Yeah, the sauce is crazy.
And I used the leftover coconut rice. It's perfect.
Oh,
Right.
Oh my God.
Well,
Long day at work.
Yes.
We'll be back.
All right. Good night.